All right, good morning, everyone. We have finally some news about the end of month, and this is going to be the Untold Stories volume number 2 featuring Kisuke and Shinji. And today we have a special guest, Inverse.
G'day, good evening, good morning, good night, or whatever time it is for you guys.
Yes, and basically we're going to be doing a short review, first impressions on this banner, what we think, and how we feel about it. So right now it's a 2 characters banner. That one's coming right after the Bruno banner, and it's going to be the end of the month. We had the trader feature in the game this morning, and it's a 4.5%, 1.5%. So 4.5% to get one of the featured characters, and 1.5% to get any of the unfeatured pool characters. In terms of the featured characters, we have obviously the Kisuke and the Shinji, the new ones, but we also have the Confiant Wild. Well, the other we've got the oh, I'm bugging. Help me out for the fillers. We've got Shunsui, we've got Kenpachi, we've got the Yamada brother as Confiant versions, and then we also have Stark. We've got the Espadas, basically the Beyond Resurrection Espadas. So we've got Stark, we've got our Nero, we've got Neutra, and then we've got Zael as well. So those are the fillers this time around. And straight away, it feels weird to see the same fillers that we've had for the first Untold Story captains. It's like they've just we've had the Shunsui, the Kenpachi, and the Yamada brother already in the first round. So them just dumping them on us once more. I don't know. What do you feel about this?
I'm happy for all of those characters, which make up the 4.5% to be can't be your own world characters. I mean, they could have put in a couple of premiums and a couple of seasonals if they wanted to, but any banner, look, I don't like any of the banners ever since they made the 4.5% and 1.5%, but that's after I sort of left the game. But any banner where it's all of one theme, if they're all 1,000-Year Blood War characters, they're all Spirits of Forever with you characters, they're all Can't Be Your Own World characters, I'm really, really happy about that. Yeah.
I mean, I agree. It's good to have a banner where the featured pool is only exclusive characters, so of one theme. The only thing is them giving us twice the same feature pool is a bit tricky, because if it was any random banner where they gave us those 3 characters, so the Shunsui, the Yamada brother, and what's his name again? Senosuke. So Senosuke, Shunsui, and Kenpachi, I'd be fine with it. But the problem is they give this to us on round 2 of anniversary, when literally everyone had orbs to pull, and literally everyone probably pulled some amount of copies of those guys. So them giving us these fillers back right now feels a bit weird. Feels a bit weird. If it was any other month when people just spend some amount of orbs on the banner and maybe didn't get all the fillers, that's the thing. But in this case, it was a hype banner, especially because it came out with also the Yamamoto, who was this who's the new PvP god. I don't know, it's not like we don't have many Confiant characters. What they could have done is they could have given us the old Shinji in that banner instead.
Yeah, well, I feel like these Can't Be Your Own World characters are kind of like the discount characters, right?
Yes.
Shunsui is probably fine, but I've never heard anyone mention him or use him. Kenpachi, everyone hates. That Yamada, he's actually
niche.
Pretty good, but
He's
again,
very niche. He's very niche.
Niche, exactly. The Stark is probably the best character out of there in terms of PvE gameplay. Aaron Nero, again, niche, useful on the Senkaimon floor, right?
Same for the Zael, and the Neutra is
he was old PvP. Now he's retired, right?
Yes, well, he still does some good on Senkaimon and some floors at Max Incentive, of course.
Yeah. But I mean, so I feel like
he does good in the Guild Quest as well. Sorry, my bad. He does good in Guild Quest as well. I think there's a week where he can be useful, the
captain. Well, he's Captain Killer, so
exactly. Yeah. So Captain Week he actually performs well.
Yeah, but I mean, the reason why they're discounted is not because they're necessarily bad, but because at this point, anyone who's been playing for a year or longer probably has copies of these, and I feel like there are other characters. I think that these characters have been spammed a lot as fillers in the Can't Be Your Own World banners, but you know, there are some other characters like your Shuhei and Hikone version 2 and your Aura. I think that those ones maybe are not featured as fillers as much as these ones.
But the thing is, that's probably why they gave us this bait right before the end of month with the Can't Be Your Own banner. So they gave us like all the good characters. So the Miyori, they gave us Tsukishima, they gave us so they gave us like all the good. So we had like Tsukishima, Ginjo, Miyori, Dodoni, Searchi, Charlotte, Shuhei, Hikone, and Aura. They gave us all of these, all the good Can't Be Your Own characters as a separate banner right before the end of month.
That's right, separate
and then
banner.
We're getting the leftovers in the main banner, in the main dish, which is the end of month.
And interestingly, the fillers for the individuals are all premium, right? So unlike other more hype banners where the individual fillers were also limited,
yeah,
that's no longer the case, right?
Oh
like,
no,
for
this
example,
time
well, this time the individuals are all premium fillers, like even the featured, right? But I mean, in the past, like for example, the individuals on 1000-Year Blood War would also have 1000-Year Blood War fillers sometimes.
Yes, but also not just that, but like this time around, if you were thinking of going for individual, like the fillers are bad, like they're really bad. For
I
example,
think they were good
this time, like the individual fillers for the individual banners now.
Yeah, I mean the characters in the featured for the individuals, they were good a year ago, but they're getting a bit dated now. Like that Kenpachi was good a year ago, but he's a bit dated now.
That's the thing. You've got this Kenpachi, but you've got the red suit that's been featured in so many banners. Like if you don't have that red suit at this point in the game, that means you just started yesterday. Like there's no other explanation. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like same thing if you don't have the Makoto. Like I didn't have him for a year, but now with anniversary and all this, like I have him like in three or five or something. So if you don't have the Makoto, something's wrong. Or the Toshio, for example, the Redux Toshio, like Redux Toshio and the Red Suit have been featured in so many, like, you know, like those like free multis we get like every now and then, like you've got like 10 free multis for a period of time, and every day it resets.
Yeah,
those guys have been featured everywhere there. So it's like Get Up saying, if you want to try to go for individuals, good luck, because the fillers are really bad. If you want to go for the main banner, good luck, because the rates are what they are.
I mean, the characters are good for newbies, right? Like those featured characters are good if you're new to the game because they're useful, except for Magoto. I don't think he's useful, but you know,
for
like
new users, yes. But at the end of the day, like you can't just like create a game for new players. Like you have to think about all of the players, the new one, the more seasoned players, and so on. Now, in terms of the characters themselves, they are good. Like I've seen some comments about people saying that this Kisuke, for example, is putting to bed Bruno, and I'm like, he is good. Kisuke is good. He's very good, but he's very good in his own niche. And we've briefly discussed this before the call today, which is, I feel like this Kisuke, like this, the thing is, with this banner, Caleb knows that people are going to summon for the characters. Caleb knows that the characters alone with their designs, because honestly, the designs are phenomenal. Like I really love the designs.
Yeah.
Shinji one is a bit weird. It's like, it's a mix between his Bankai and his just Visor form, which we've been dying to get for ages.
Yeah, actually, the design of Shinji takes on some cues from Can't Be Your Own World. So I think I noticed whilst I was watching the Caleb gameplay that there's like some little flower petals or something around his sword when you do some of the, or something like that. And I think that's reminiscent of his Bankai from the design from Can't Be Your Own World novel. So I think and I don't know if you've noticed, but his hands and feet have claws, which is the same as Full Hollow Ichigo.
True, very true. And also Hikone V2 as well.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that they are merging a lot of concepts here. So they've got the Captain Shinji design, they've got the Bunkai Shinji design, they've got the full hollow design, and they've kind of, and then they're merging that in with some, you know, Japanese folklore and stuff. So it's kind of interesting. And the other thing that I've noticed about Spirits Are Forever With You, the original KLab designs, which is a little bit different to Can't Fear Your Own World original designs. So I've always been you know me, I've been a big critic of the Can't Fear Your Own World original KLab designs versus the canon material, right? Because I used to criticize KLab for basically saying that it's like a 10-year-old had a massive packet of highlighters and just, you know, dumped all the highlighter ink on the table, and you ended up with, you know, yellow highlighter is Noitora, you know, and green and blue highlighters was Stark, you know. But what I've noticed that KLab are doing this time is it's somewhere halfway in between the canon designs and the highlighter overload design. So they still have the highlighter overtones, but they've toned it down a lot.
Because
And I
that's
think
the
they've
flashy
traded
thing.
some of
That's
the,
the flashy thing it sells. But for example, maybe the Shinji does have a bit of it, but the Kisuke is a lot more toned down. And
absolutely.
something that I find interesting as well is that for the first Confiano, like first Untold Story round, it felt like it wasn't really beyond Bankai by the designs of it. Whereas here, it does feel like it's an evolution. What's interesting is the Kisuke is very reminiscent of his own Bankai because of all the threads and, you know, like this is something that you don't see in his Shikai form. This is definitely a line and reminiscent of his Bankai.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I love Kisuke, but I don't like this design. It reminds me of like the puppet master
Yes.
in Naruto. What's his
Oh,
name?
yeah.
One of the Akatsuki members can control puppets and stuff.
But that's like his Bankai essentially. Because she's just like she just has a bunch of threads and she can just like sew anything that she wants.
Yeah, I know. It suits the theme. Like thematically, it all works. It's just so over the top. It just reminds me of like these Naruto characters.
I know, but it's like it's a bit condensed. It's like instead of having this like gigantic like form or entity behind him, now he just has like the effectiveness of it. Like he just has like a more advanced version of it, which is just like those like it looks like fingers in a sense, like fingers controlling something. So it's kind of a more advanced version of it, or like a more mastered version of it. Shinji,
we'll call him puppet master version.
Yeah,
puppet jutsu.
Puppet. Yeah, I like puppets. Puppets. Yeah, okay. Kispet. Yeah, I don't know, but it's an interesting one. But the thing is, you're right. Like the designs of those ones seem to be a lot more refined. Like it seems like there's been a lot more thought into it in terms of the direction that they're taking for those characters.
Yeah, and so KLab have toned down on the, you know, highlighter regurgitation, you know, rainbow colored designs. They've kept some colors, but they've spent more. This time they've gone overboard on the physical design of the character. And this is with the previous round too, with who were the captains last time? There's
Shunsui. So we had Shunsui, we had Yamaji.
Yeah, and the other one was
let me just check.
Jushiro?
Correct, Jushiro. Oh wow, yeah, that one.
So Jushiro and Shunsui had over the top physicality to their designs, and that's where I think KLab are going. They're going not so much with the color, but over the top physical presence.
Yeah. Now, design wise, yes, I agree. And I do feel like things like, for example, visually, obviously, I have to give it to KLab. Their visual design team is outstanding. Like they do a great job. And also like they put some like thoughts, like they really put some thoughts into those characters, honestly. But now what I want to talk about is the characters themselves. So their kit, their what they have to offer and stuff like that. And I'm gonna start with Kisuke because he's the most interesting one out of the two, in my opinion. Because he brings something new to the table. And what I mean by something new is the new skill. So he's got like 843 spiritual pressure. He is a soul per killer. I think he's a range unit.
Yeah.
He inflicts both paralysis and lacerate, and he has the new skill, which is status ailment spiritual pressure boost plus 80%. Initially, when I saw this, I thought it was whenever you inflict a status ailment, you have the status boost on the given enemy or something, but actually it's not this. So I saw it as being like extra damage to the enemy that has been inflicted, that has been impacted by a status ailment, but it's actually just like a random boost. So the boost applies as soon as you inflict the status ailment, knowing that this character also has a vortex, meaning a higher chance to proc.
Yeah.
And then it stays for a few seconds. I haven't been able to count how many seconds, but it sounds like at least like 3 to 5 seconds.
He's going to be a massive nuker. I mean, other than units that have like bombardment, right?
Yeah.
Like because the status element is guaranteed on the bomb, right? Yeah. So, you know, pair that with attention tie, you know, and transcendence with 5 out of 5 with SP, 3-star SP on your max roll.
I wonder,
I'm not sure what sort of spiritual pressure you guys running nowadays with a T set and everything. You're looking at what, 5,000, 6,000?
5 to 6K, yeah, between 5 and 6K.
And then that's nearly double.
Yeah, but that's like 80%. That's like having bombardment, isn't it? In a sense.
I'm not sure if it would work the same way
because it doubles the amount
calculations.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It's a 5 times multiplier with spiritual pressure on the soul bomb.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it worked, but
you know what? You'd have to go to bbssimulator.com.
Yes,
and work out what
I'm not
the damage would be
there yet. Like I think it's a bit too early because it's too new.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the way that I see it is this Kisuke is going to be a beast. However, he's not the ultimate unit with that skill. I feel like he's just like the first guy to bring this skill to the table. But this skill is actually going to be something that we're going to be getting on an anniversary unit or the artbook unit V2 that we're going to get next year. Reason being, and I've been doing this for a little while now, I have been focusing on some key units that have like longevity and versatility in the game. So I went all in for Bruno. I'm out of orbs. I've got like less than 1,000 orbs right now, which is not much. I went in 5-6K on Bruno, and I ended up using also like my special move sources on him to make him 5/5. Reason being, I see his potential. Like he's got double killer, he has bombardment, he has all this. The only problem I have to mention this, Bruno feels like one of those top tier units that you would have from 5th anniversary or between 5th and 6th anniversary. He is not yet at the level of what we're going to get on 7th anniversary. So he is this in-between unit, just like when they released Noel and Nini, they were like super good. They were like slightly under 5th anniversary level for in terms of unit tier. However, as soon as they released like 6th anniversary characters, so 6th anniversary Aizen and Artbook Ichigo, it really made, sorry, no, not even this actually, end of year, Daddy Ichigo and Rukia, it felt like those guys were a league above Noan and Ni already in terms of what they had to offer. Would it be just for the fact that they have Sharpshooter and Marauder, right? Just for that alone, they were slightly...
Noel and Nini?
No, I'm talking about Daddy Ichigo and Rukia. Captain Rukia.
Well, Rukia doesn't have that. It's only Daddy Ichigo's got Marauder.
Okay, so she just has the Bankai mechanic. Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
But it's like there is no enemy. So there is 5th anniversary characters, Ichigo and Byakuya. Then there is no enemy. They were like slightly here. Then there is like Daddy Ichigo and Rukia that were somewhat in between those two levels. I think Rukia is maybe on the level of like Noel and Nini, and then Daddy Ichigo is more on the level of 5th anniversary characters. Then they released the 6th anniversary characters. So they released Aizen and All Book Ichigo, which are here. And now they're releasing some characters with like interesting mechanics. So Bruno, in my opinion, is more on that level, on the level of like a 5th anniversary Ichigo, Byakuya, and Daddy Ichigo. And I feel like now they're releasing some characters that are in between. They're not necessarily better than 5th anniversary characters, but they have some very interesting key mechanics that are going to be leveraged later on for 7th anniversary for the all book version of character and for the 7th anniversary character. And they're going to take it to the next level, and they're going to shine for like another year.
I think what's really difficult is that K-Lab are releasing a lot of really hype characters in such a short amount of time. Like, and it started with the art book Ichigo, right? Then it was Aizen, then it was Bruno, and now it's these two characters, Shinji and Kisuke. That's
the pace has slowed down a lot. Like in between, we've had like a lot of dead months. We've had a lot of banners, honestly. It's just before that, we used to have Thousand Blood War back to back, Country on World back to back. This time we have a lot of banners to cool down in between banners. It's the first time in a while that we've had like a high banner like Bruno, and right after Untold Story #2.
Yeah, I'm really keen to see what sort of damage that extra 80% spiritual pressure does when, you know, an absolutely maxed out spiritual pressure, you know, like Kisuke, you know, I want to see like what sort of damage that nuke does.
He's going to be
to say Bruno's bombardment, you know.
It's interesting as well that they gave him, they made him power. They made him power Soul
Reaper Killer, which there's a lot of,
Not just this, but like Bruno is both a Soul Reaper and an Anchor Killer. And Bruno is just like this Kisuke range as well.
Yeah.
So they really went like, okay, we're giving Bruno power, power Soul Reaper and Anchor Killer, his range with Sharpshooter. And then we're gonna double up on this with a Kisuke that's gonna be also power, range, and Soul Reaper Killer. So like they're literally playing in the same niche. Where they probably missed a nice opportunity was with the Shinji, because Shinji doesn't have a boost. If he had, actually no, he's melee as well, so like who cares? Like we're still missing that like one range Anchor killer with a boost. That's one of those.
Speaking of Shinji, his gameplay looks really clean. It reminds me a bit of actually Bunkai Shinji from Can't Fear Your Own World.
He does,
like, the movement looks really crisp and clean. Yeah,
he feels
hard
very
to tell obviously without playing him, but that's what it reminded me of. Yeah.
Sorry, so just going back on the key skill a little bit before moving to Shinji. The skill, the 80%, is like having a built-in T set, an extra built-in T set as soon as you inflict a status ailment. They played it safe by not giving him weakening, but mark my word, we are gonna have a character that's gonna have double status ailment, that's gonna have weakening, and that's gonna have this skill.
Well, how about a PvP character with a plus 80% attack?
I mean, we still have Azashiro coming. We still have some patches on the way, so I can very well see this happening, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is gonna be the next generation of PvP characters, the way they do it, it's like, honestly, it's like a kid just like giving power-ups here and there. It's like they don't know what to invent, so let's just go with like a busted new thing and that's it. It's also interesting. Something's also very interesting. You know how the way that I see it is the following. You know you know how they have released the newer harder mode, like the ultra difficulty for Inheritance Trials.
Yeah.
Inheritance Trials is full of enemies that have the Iron Skin ability. And Iron Skin gets defeated as soon as you inflict the status ailment. So by having a skill that also adds even more damage as soon as you have you inflict a status ailment, makes it really like in the same tone. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of a way to say that this character is also going to be very comfortable to use in the new ultra difficulty IT, because he's going to boast even extra damage as soon as he inflicts status ailment. But again, really the way I see it is like this guy, this Kisuke is going to be an absolute beast in his own niche. Thank God he doesn't have a sharpshooter, and thank God he doesn't have weakening just yet, because another unit is going to come with a double killer with this same ability, weakening, and either sharpshooter or marauder. And this character is going to be the one to go for. And that's what I'm going to do. Like, I'm going to go for that new character that has this skill. Right now, for me, like this Kisuke is just like the experimental subject for the new skill. It's a way to get people to spend orbs on this guy. I mean, people would spend orbs anyway because like they look fantastic. Like visually, they look amazing. They're both like great characters.
And you know what else is good? The voice acting is really good.
Always.
I don't know if you noticed, the voice acting is really good for both of these characters.
I didn't pay close attention to this one specifically, not gonna lie, but I know that in general, like they always do like a very good job. So people saying that this guy puts Bruno to bed, I would say he does put Bruno to bed in the range Soul Reaper category, Soul Reaper killer category, but that's it. Bruno still has the double killer. Bruno still has bombardment, although like this guy's gonna be interesting with his 80% damage inflicted.
The thing is, it depends when this 80% applies in the damage calculation.
I wonder if it's after the status.
If it applies after, he will be absolutely busted. Imagine you've got Transcendence plus 20 link slots plus the T set, right? Imagine all of that spiritual pressure. Then you put 80% on top. It's nearly double. It's going to be nearly, if you're looking at 6,000 spiritual pressure, and then what you put 80% on top of that, it's going to be like 10,000 spiritual pressure.
Yeah,
and then if you put a tension tie on top of that, it'll be busted.
Close to. No, he's going to be very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But as you mentioned, like, it would be interesting to see this.
But I wouldn't be surprised if K-Lab nerf that and make it that the 80% doesn't apply right at the end.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, it has to be part of the damage calculation. Oh, wait a minute. What if the 80% applies to the base stat of the character and not to everything?
That's what I mean.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a strong feeling that it's going to be on the base stat, meaning that it's going to be on the 1600. So if you have like a 5/5 with 500 SP character, it would probably be on the 1600 base.
Which is what the accessories do, right? The accessories work on the base.
Yes. Let me do a quick math. So 1600 times 1.8. So you go up to 2.8K.
Well, it's all speculation now, but Soldex, when he data mines it, will probably work out where it applies in the formula.
But to be honest, it does make a lot more sense to have it on the base than have it anywhere later.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because that's what K-Lab has done with the accessories.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. I think it's going to be somewhat this way. And then it just scales up with the accessories. I'm just going to make it even bigger. But if it was at the end, that would be very nasty. If it's this way, which I think makes the most sense, it's a lot more manageable in a sense. It's still a big difference. But I mean, actually,
I wouldn't be surprised if it was on the end, because that would make him a new epic raid nuker. So there would be basically a replacement for Shuhei, and he would be very profitable for people that do speed runs for Guild Quest.
Yes.
So for the elite people, for epic raids and Guild Quest, he would be very valuable, just like Shuhei is.
Let's do a quick
because there's only one person that can do what Shuhei can do, and that's Shuhei.
Yes. Well, imagine the same character with the same skills, like the same skills as this Kisuke, but you then add, the down thing on the special.
Yeah.
Imagine if you add the debuff on the special as well. That's going to be very, very nasty. But Actually, you're right in a sense. It's like reverse Shuhei. It's like reverse buff in a sense. So instead of having like minus 80% on the enemy, it's plus 80% on yourself.
Yeah.
That's,
Now, which of the two characters have damage at full stamina? Full stamina damage.
sorry, my guy. Yeah, my guy. Actually, when I saw this, I was
really
like,
cool.
that's interesting because this guy has, so he's got 40% Berserker. On top of which you add 20% full stamina damage boost. You can add with the link slots, you can add an extra 20%. So this guy could be 25%. So this guy could have 45% built in full stamina damage boost. He also has the mind attribute captain strong attack damage plus 20%. So basically he does have 20% extra sab, 40% berserker, that's like 60%. So he's got 60% built in berserker. And then on top of which he gets an extra 20% full stamina damage boost plus 25 at T15. That's 60% berserker plus 45% potential full stamina damage boost.
Yeah, pretty awesome. He'll be really strong hitting.
He's gonna get hit really hard, yes.
I don't know if he's got melee or range collision strong attacks though.
He's melee. He's melee and he's a melee character and he's got weakening. He inflicts weakening.
Yeah, so then there's weakening on top of that. So he's gonna hit really hard.
He's gonna hit really hard. I like, to be honest, like I like the way they've approached this. It's like both of them are gonna be hitting like trucks, but in their own ways. One is because of this brand new skill. The other one is also because of his brand new skill. Like both of them are going to be hitting really hard because of their brand new skills. Interesting. But yeah, the way that I see it is this is only the beginning right now. This is only the beginning, and those skills are going to be better used on other characters. Like they're going to be used on characters with like the double killers, and this is going to completely destroy the game. Not in a bad way, but I mean, like those characters are going to have such longevity. The next wave, it's not going to happen too soon. Tammy?
I was just going to say, and do both of them have vortex?
No, only Kisuke has a vortex, which makes sense because his skill works with sales elements. So like it's better to proc.
And I noticed the vortex moves forward, but it's not a homing vortex, right? It's just a moving forward vortex.
From the video, it seems like it's just a moving vortex.
Yeah. So it's not like Anniversary Byakuya.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not. And
still, a moving forward vortex is still good if the mobs are all in one place anyway.
Yeah, of course. Plus, I think he does have Havoc as well. Like, let me just check the Kisuke. I think Kisuke has, yeah, he's got Havoc 20%. So like, obviously, AoE is even bigger. Same thing. Shinji does have Havoc as well. Now, this makes me wonder at something as well, you know. It feels like a safe way of knowing where to go is individual, like solo banners. And hear me out. KLab knows that they're making the most profits out of solo banners. They've tested this with the artwork Ichigo banner. They've made a bunch of money. They've tested this on the solo banner for anniversary with IZ. They've made a bunch of money. The month of July anniversary, they just crushed the numbers. Like they did so much profit. I've made a video about this. Like I think they made like $4+ million in revenues that month alone, knowing that usually they're more on the 1 million mark. And anniversary wise, they usually go on the 2-point-something million mark. So like they literally like made double what they make on anniversary in general because of the way they've played it with the solo banners. Now they've released Bruno as a solo banner, which probably gave them a lot of money. And they want to double up on this by having this banner as the end of month, meaning that on this month of October, they're going to make a lot of money. They're going to have a very good month. November is probably going to be a bit of a down month for them in comparison. And December, they're probably going to have something good for the end of year. which is going to also bring profits up. But the way that I see it is solo banners seem to be the way to go for them. And I'm slightly afraid that they might actually release a new original character for end of year as a solo banner that's going to be completely busted. And that's going to be the next character to go for. That's my gut feeling.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That's my gut feeling. They're going to play it this way. And then anniversary. And then maybe they're going to have run 3 of, no, not probably not. I was going to say Band of Witch sometime in between, but I'm not sure. I was like, maybe they're going to try to have like about 4 solo banners of busted characters a year, just so they can like spread the profits across the year. But I feel like we had like this anniversary 2 solo banners. We're going to have a solo banner for end of the year with like a unique character design, which is going to be really hype. And then we're going to have another artwork banner V2 with a single character before anniversary, 7th anniversary, and an artwork banner for and an anniversary character for 7th anniversary as well. That's the way that I see it. And I feel like KLab has realized the potential of solo banners. I'm not talking about the arena banners. That one was a big failure. And I think like they're killing it down in a sense, or like just bringing it down.
Well, I noticed they didn't show any of the arena skills in the gameplay.
That's a very good point. They haven't done any arena showcase on those characters. But I mean, they didn't release an arena banner this time around. Like, they didn't.
Yeah, well, maybe with the latest news where they're actually reading,
or actually it's going to be
feedback.
Yeah.
You know, they're reading the feedback. They're publicly apologizing, as you know, you mentioned in your last video.
Yeah.
So maybe they're reading the feedback about the arena too. But anyway, that's a discussion for another day.
That is indeed. But I do feel like they're changing the approach about arena banners. Like instead of giving like 2 arena, we used to have like 2 arena banners a month, right? I don't know. I feel like either it's because of Bruno or it's because of wait, actually no, because but maybe it's because of Bruno, because Bruno was like an in-between in a sense. Maybe that's why we didn't get an arena banner, but we're gonna get the next one. But essentially, KLab knows that the strategy is the following: give us a busted unit, eventually like a hype one, and release them as a solo banner and watch the profit come in. So whenever they go with 2 characters, you know that they're going to be good, like a 2-character banner like this one, exclusive banner. They know they're going to be good, but they're just missing that little edge that makes them god tier. Like if you look at them, they're amazing in their own niche, but they're not god tier, because on the Arrancar side, if that Shinji was a range Arrancar killer, he would have been amazing. But we do have so many melee Arrancar killers so far.
So remind me, and maybe the viewers if they don't know. So I know that the main banners are 0.5% chance per unit, right?
Yes.
Now, what about the individuals? Are they also 0.5 or are they still 1% per unit? So for example, if you only wanted Kisuke, you have 0.5% on the main banner, but what is it on the individual? So as you know, I've been out of the loop for half.
I think it's going to be, I think it's a 1%, like 5%, 1%, but I need to double check because I'm not too sure. It used to be like the 5%, but I remember that I tried putting on one of the individual banners at some point, and then I was like surprised to get something that was not featured. So I wonder if they're adding also unfeatured to the poll. So let me just check as we speak. I'm opening Kisuke's banners on my phone.
Yeah.
And I'm, oh, okay. So it's 4 and 1. 4% featured, 1% unfeatured.
And but what's the per character percentage? Is it 0.5 or 1%?
It is like the 0.5 never changed. So the thing is like KLab's done it this way.
But what I'm saying, it used to be 0.5% main banner and 1% individual banner.
That's actually a very good point.
Yeah.
That's actually a very good point.
And so if you,
On
and
individual
so the
banners got
strategy would be like you'd go, how many characters do I want in the main banner? Multiply that by 0.5.
Mhm.
And then how many characters do I want in the individual banner? Multiply that by 1. And that gives you your percentage, right?
Exactly. So the idea was like, we used to have 3 character banners. So that's like 1.5% chance to get a new character, to get what you want.
Well, assuming that you wanted all the
If
new
you want all
characters.
3 of them. But the idea is like, most likely you want like all 3 of the new characters.
So what we want to
you want-
ask is, if someone only wants one character, say they hate Shinji and they love Kisuke, say for example, then are their percentages better or worse or the same for the main banner versus the individual banner? Not talking about the fillers, just the one character.
To be honest, I feel like this is subject for even another video, but I feel like Caleb's actually made individual banners irrelevant. And hear me out.
Yeah.
You've got 0.5% chance to get the one character that you want from the individual banner.
Oh, well, then they've changed it. They've made it worse, because back in the old days, and when I say the old days, we're just talking half a year ago, it used to be 1%.
Oh, no, sorry, my bad. Excuse me, I made a mistake, sorry. You've got 4% chance to get one of the featured characters, and you've got 4 fillers in that banner. So that means like 1% for each of the featured characters.
Oh, okay. So it's the same as it used to be then.
It's the exact same as it used to be. Yes, it hasn't changed.
Right.
Yeah, that would have been very weird for Caleb to do this. So you still have double the chance to get a specific character going on the individual than going on the main banner.
Yeah.
And
so
that
it's a 0.5% chance per featured character on the main, and 1% chance per featured character on the individual. So if someone only wants Kisuke, again, the individual is the best chance of getting the individual character.
Correct. The only difference is you get a bit more value from the main banner because you've got this 1% chance to get one of the 2 featured characters, which are both good. Yet you've got the safety net, which is the other featured characters, which are not that bad compared to the ones you have in individual.
Yeah, if people want
So
the fillers, then it's better value. Yeah.
It's a trade-off, essentially.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's good to know.
Interesting. That's the annoying thing. Like, Caleb's playing with the rates way too much. Like, it's hard to it's hard to follow with everything.
They've actually made it really difficult to follow. Like, considering the demographic of people, they're not necessarily all mathematicians, right? Like you and I.
More you than
actually,
I, though.
I mean, it's just so difficult to follow, especially because they keep changing.
Yeah.
It's actually really cryptic. Yeah. But,
actually, something that I realized, by the way, I made a mistake. That Shinji actually feels a very good niche, because the last very good melee avant-card killer, we don't have that many actually. Like the last one would probably Stark or the Halibel. The most recent one.
For what attribute? For tech.
Not forget about the attribute in general. Like I'm talking about melee avant-card killer.
Rukia is probably one of the best, if not the best.
Yeah, actually, my bad. I made a mistake. I selected affiliation. My bad. I completely forgot. No, actually, no. We do have like a bunch of characters in the Anchor Killer affiliation. Are all very good. Shinji is just like a bit more damage probably, but that's it.
Yeah.
I had an extra filter on Anchors, but yes, Rukia is also like absolutely amazing in this. So, all in all, those characters are very good. Like very, very good. Kisuke has a very interesting mechanic, which is probably going to translate into a similar one for PvP with like 80% attack. What would be interesting is, I would say this way, imagine this. So you've got this 80% extra damage on extra attack on a given character if you inflict a status ailment. But imagine in PvP, yes.
Well, that's the thing. 80% extra attack, I think, would equate to 80% extra damage. I think. I'm not sure, but yeah.
Roughly. But then there's another thing, which is this Kisuke has complete status immunity.
Yep.
So imagine this. the next PvP character to get that skill could also get complete status immunity, meaning that this extra damage would be canceled on himself. So like if you have two of those PvP characters with that same like 80% attack skill, it would cancel out because it wouldn't apply to each other, but it would apply to any other character.
That's true.
And I can see Kayla playing it this way.
Mm.
Either this or status reversal.
Oh, yeah. So one of them has status reversal, right?
Yeah, that's Shinji.
So that's basically 1,000-Year Blood Royal Uryu.
Yep, brought to Shinji. Yeah. But that actually becomes very interesting now because of that skill like Kiss Kiss, for example.
Mm.
I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities there now with all this, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, Calab are doing some different things. Look, for me, there's a couple of new mechanics. The designs are really good. As usual, I'm disappointed that they're not canon characters. But for non-canon characters, they have a lot of canon elements to them in terms of their design and their lore. Mm-hmm. And I really like the music. I like the voice acting. And the stats match as well. So yeah, I think they're, from an observer from the outside, you know, as a spectator now, retired spectator, I think they look pretty good.
Yeah. So if anyone was wondering, like, should you summon as banner? The answer is, if you like the characters, go for it. If you miss characters in those niches, go for it because they're gonna be very good. But they're not gonna be they're not the best characters. I mean, there's gonna be some much better characters coming very soon that are gonna put to bed those characters. That's the way that I see it. They're just introducing new mechanics. They're introducing new things to the table, but like with just, they're not those characters yet. Like they're not the characters that are gonna be like, when Aizen came out, everyone was like, this is a god tier character. When All-Book Ichigo came out, everyone was like, this is a god tier character. So like when a character is a god tier level, you know, like nobody's gonna argue with this.
Yeah. They're like one level below that.
Those ones are undoubtedly amazing, but they're not god tier level.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's how you know that.
Which is fine. We don't need 12 god tier characters.
We don't, of course. It's just like my approach is like going for the god tier characters and just like investing in those ones and not really caring about the rest, because that's a way to just like avoid like having to just summon again and again and again. Like I don't want to just summon every banner that comes out because there's no point, and it's just like a waste of orbs, in my opinion, if you play the long game, the long-term game. But if you're in need of like a good character for either of those niches, they're amazing. You should go for them.
Good summary.
Yes, awesome. Thank you so much for joining us on this video Inverse. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to your channel, leave a like, and we'll see you next time. Tschüss.
Tschüss.
私は全てを超越する。